Okay, so we're here to talk about do a testimonial for next level practice. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. That's
okay,
right.
Okay, so they want to know what it was like before we got next level.
Well, for me, myself personally, it was a total wreck around here.
I can agree.
It was kind of like everybody was doing their own thing. No one was really accountable. Something wasn't done. Nobody knew who was supposed to do it. It wasn't me. That ain't my job. It just was. It made it hard to come into work because you didn't know what was going to happen that day, who was going to do what, because everybody had their own little, I say, office within our office.
Yeah, their own agendas, so to speak,
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess for me, I was at my tipping point. I had put my resume out there. I was almost done because it was so stressful around here. I mean, nobody was doing what they were supposed to. Everybody was talking about everybody else, and everybody was mad at somebody because they were mad at somebody else, and it was just chaos. Chaos.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would say, I guess before we started next level, what I think, we didn't have like a protocol as to how we do things. So we have like, I'm saying from a hygiene standpoint, one hygienist doing something over here, somebody else doing something over there. So then when we see another patient, from what I think, from what somebody else thinks is different. So then the patient gets confused, treatment doesn't get done, and then we have patients who don't show up or who don't schedule for follow-up appointments. But we're getting a handle or have a handle on it now as opposed to before we started.
Right, the communication was really bad. Oh.
It was really bad.
I didn't know what so-and-so said. You go to the doctor, nobody was held accountable. It was like, well, I think she said this, but I didn't know for sure. It's just, you know, you couldn't go to the doctors before. I felt the doctors were a little unapproachable. It was very hard. It was very hard. So, but now that when we, our first Gary Katie, what was it?
Experience.
Experience.
Yeah, it was at Invisalign. It was at an Invisalign event. And I was like, this man is crazy.
I thought he kind of wowed, but we're going to listen.
Yeah, we'll listen. And, you know, Dr. Anderson brought us there, and we were like, okay, here we go with another practice management group.
Another one.
Somebody that's going to quit halfway through it, and we're not really going to follow through with anything.
Right, because I think, like, every year it was something new. So this was another new thing. So it was like, okay, well, we're going to see how far this one goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet it's like another 3 months, maybe.
Yeah.
If that long.
Yeah.
That's right. I was very doubtful. You know, like, I've been in dentistry a long time. I've tried, you know, Linda Miles, you know, with St. George's, everything. I'm like, okay, you know, everybody wants to do these, you know, these practice management people. It just never stays and never works. So I was a little hesitant. You know, okay, I'm gonna go because that's what they pay me to do. So I'm gonna go.
Right. Keep your job.
That's right. I'm gonna go and look interested.
But that's right. That's right. So you know, it's when you say you're gonna go, but you don't really. I wasn't taking it in. It's like I heard it before, so it was like kind of that Charlie Brown, wow, wow, wow. Exactly. I wasn't really listening, but I was sitting there, so I didn't fully take it in at first because I thought.
Right.
The same old thing. Here we go again. They're going to pay for it. We'll keep it for 3 months. Then we'll be back to where we started.
Yeah, but I would say, I guess what the turning point with Next Level was, a key thing that they said was try it on. And I imagine like you try on a jacket, a pair of pants, something new. So that's what kind of made a difference. It was like, okay, well, yeah, the doctors are saying we need to do this. We're getting this from the Skype. So instead of trying to go against it, let's try it on.
That's where I came to the same conclusion. You know what? They keep saying it works, it works, it works. I started reading the books and started saying, well, maybe it does. And I started applying it in my own life at home.
Yes.
Which I thought, okay, this thing can go more than just work.
Yeah,
it makes it easier at home for me. So I started feeling a little more comfortable. And I said, you know, I started to feel Gary a little bit. So it started to be comfortable. So as I got comfortable, I started saying, you know what, I'm using a little bit, let me go a little further into it and get a little more uncomfortable. And then it started feeling like, okay, it's easier this way. When I know if something doesn't work, there is something set in place to make sure it does.
Yeah.
So it's what being held accountable. I love that because I do it with my niece at home. Okay, look, you agreed to this. And you're not doing it, so what was our agreement? So that way she can say, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? And that way there's no personal, there's no tension, there's no emotions in it. It's just, you know what, I agreed to it, so I need to stick to what I agreed to.
Yeah.
So that's what I like the best part about it, is that, you know, people are working by agreements versus by, you know what, you didn't do it, then now I'm mad, and now I'm back and forth. It cuts that out.
And then somebody else is mad because I'm mad.
Right.
I guess for me it's easier because I tend to stress myself out. I take on a lot of stuff, and in the past I've been here for 8 years, so I take on a lot of stuff, and I think, oh, nobody can do it as good as I'm going to do it. If it's going to be done right, then I might as well do it myself. But I wasn't really giving anybody else a chance to be meeting the goals that they want to meet. Maybe they want to be a fabulous dental assistant. Maybe they want to do lab cases or do ordering or whatever. So I was just taking it all, and I was being greedy for myself. So now with Next Level, I mean, we've been at what, 3 years? It's been 3 years. I mean, and we still learn something new every day, and I still, I give more responsibilities out now. I don't stress myself out. So that's what helped me a lot in here and at home.
Yeah, I agree. And I think kind of along the way, like I'm going back to when I say try it on. Well, unfortunately we had some team members that are no longer with us who some things don't quite work for everybody. So, with that, we've had some come, some go. But I would say we've had a lot of the team members that are here now. We all work together. We have our protocol. We go by our agreements, so that has helped out a lot, and I can see where there's a lot of change. We have more structure than we had before, because before there wasn't any structure. We were just kind of
doing whatever we wanted.
Doing whatever we wanted.
I'm gonna watch everything and play it by ear.
Yeah, don't worry about
Exactly.
it.
And I want to give our doctors credit, because I started with them before this happened, and now I can go in their office, have a conversation, and I feel like, okay, are they going to fire me for saying this?
Right.
I'm not scared to.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I can come in and say, you know what, I gave you an agreement and you broke it. and it makes the day so much easier. You're so relaxed. You don't feel like, oh my God, I gotta go talk to them. What I'm going to say?
Oh my God, they want to talk to me. Oh God.
Right. Every now and then that comes in, but it's more like family now.
It's right. It's like, what do you now? Okay, go ahead and give it to me.
It's like,
Sorry.
okay, I'm here anyway.
Right.
So I'd say to the newbies, I know this is a little strange for you, but to take it and try it on, just try to be comfortable with it being uncomfortable.
Yes.
For a little while, especially when it comes to holding your co-workers, your team players accountable. That is so hard. It was the hardest thing for me. I would sit there and get frustrated before I would go hold you accountable. I would be like, you know what, she didn't do it again. I'm about ready to distract, but I'm gonna say nothing because I don't want no argument.
Right, but the key word is, can I coach you?
Can I coach you?
So we start to use that more. So then when you hear that, it's like, okay,
take it down.
Right. Bring it down.
Right.
Something wasn't quite right, but I know we need to have a conversation about it.
Right,
and then it starts from there.
Being coachable is the key. If you can be coachable without thinking you're being attacked or you're being, yelled at, it's just we're trying to work together to get one goal, which is to be winning.
Yeah.